This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Our friends over at SeatGeek are giving us a promo code of TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Gunners of Oz podcast, where we are positively 100 episodes in.
Welcome to Gunners R Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
I don't know how I feel about Bruno going ahead of me on that one.
It was 100 episodes. It's all a little different.
It's different. It's like Christmas morning, but for podcasts.
I'd say this. The big man's got it right in the intro there.
Yeah.
It's episode 100.
It is.
As he said, I'm trying to get comfortable on a new sofa. I think I've just chipped the paint I have.
We've hit a century on podcasts.
We've hit a century. I'm going to be honest as well. I tried to snippet the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so chaotic and bad audio. I thought I can't put it in there.
We've come so far.
So in today's episode, we got a few things that are going to come with us. It might be a slightly longer episode than usual because it's episode 100, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Episode 1 was Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest preview at the start of last season.
Okay.
So this is
I have no recollection of this.
No, it starts with you going, welcome. It starts with you going, this is Gunners R Us. And I say, yeah. And then you go, and I'm going to drink this, and then Simon goes to talk because it's on Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, I'm going to drink this Prime Hydration, the official hydration drink of Arsenal Football Club. And then you then start talking about the logo. That's just how yeah, because in my head I was like, I wonder if we've been saying positively Arsenal since the start.
I feel like, no.
We haven't.
No, that came in. It's probably altered slightly as well.
It came in. So I appreciate everyone that's listening that has actually listened since the start. I know a few of our friends actually have. I know Alex, I know Jack have both regularly bring up the fact they listen to the podcast. I know particularly Jack, who we need to get on the show.
Yeah, we do.
Because I think as far as guests have gone, we've obviously Simon's the third host. He's been mad busy.
Mad busy.
And then we've got Bruno, who comes in for the Man United games, who you heard him in the intro. He's also going to preview Man United, Man City at the end of this episode, unless he never sends me the file.
Ooh.
And you'll know that because you won't hear Bruno again.
He's pretty good at that stuff, though.
And obviously, young Elton Prince from the WWE. But he's also flying internationally. He was on NXT last night. So he had no time to send in a video. So, hey, a bit of a letdown there. It's not from him, but from us, really. We should have delivered more for the 100th episode. But what we have got you is Simon. Simon has sent over some audio that we're going to play in a moment because he's recently been on the overlap. He did 2 episodes. He did 1 episode and then one with Clattenburg. They filmed on the same day a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
Amazing.
And then this week he was on again. And what was really cool, and we talked about it in the group chat, was he got destroyed for his football opinion online, which is the catalyst of anything good that comes from football creation.
You know content. You're doing well.
Exactly. So this is what we need. So Simon's he's kind of thrown a bit of audio. He was on his way to the Emirates last night for Arsenal versus Fulham. He did the N5 breakdown at the beginning. I completely forgot the lady's name that does it. I think it's Nicola Holiday. I feel like I'm pretty close there. It's not right.
It's
100%.
close. It's close.
It's close. With Jermaine Adialier, Theo Walcott and Matteo Flamini last night.
Yeah.
And he got to have a long chat with Theo Walcott, apparently. Said he was a lovely guy. Didn't know he was there and just literally ran into him and just didn't notice, turned around into him. And then they had a conversation. I was watching it as well. We watched the intro and I watched a bit this morning and the post-show. And Simon's the one with the mic. He's the one that talks for the audience.
He's a heck of a talker, that's why.
Yeah.
With that voice.
That's why he's on the Gunners R Us podcast. So
that voice is money.
Download and listen to iTunes and Spotify every single week for Gunners R Us, for Simon's Arsenal podcast and our Arsenal podcast.
Yeah.
He'll be on there a lot more coming up. But for now, here is Simon talking about his experience on the overlap and just all things Arsenal. So enjoy that now.
Hello, my Gunners RS friends. It is I, Simon Miller, being super lame and basically satelliting in from a forbidden location, not a forbidden location, a secret location. It's not that secret. I just think anybody would care. I did want to come on live with the boys this weekend. Do very nicely, always keep me involved in the predictions game and talking about me, which is super duper cool. But alas, my week did get away from me. One of the reasons is because on Monday I was very flattered, genuinely overwhelmed and overcome to be invited back on the Overlap podcast. I did 2 episodes a couple of weeks ago, and I've done 2 more because they filmed them back to back, which is awesome. So I thought, given that it is episode 100, and given that I have done that, it would be ridiculous of me not to come on. And again, just thank to Scott and Joey for always involving me, but also thanking you for listening to the show. And hopefully we can try and get some synergy between the two, which is the worst thing that I've ever said. Again, I don't know what my future with the Overlap is, but as you can imagine, it's a pretty awe-inspiring experience if you are a fan, which I obviously am. Because you go in there, obviously you recognize a lot of the fan pundits that they have, from the different clubs. Because again, if you watch things every single week, these people become part of your furniture, part of your, I can't know what I'm looking for, part of your life. It's just true, as silly as it may sound. These people do sort of, you feel like you know them, even though you never talked to them in your entire life. And then getting to talk to Jamie Carragher and Paul Scholes has been, like I say, on the episode that we did on Monday, which I'll talk about the nonsense that's come out the other side, when I was talking about Arsenal buying a striker, he was nodding his head, Paul Scholes, when I was, it's amazing, when I was, when I was giving my point. And my point was obviously about Arsenal buying a striker, which we do need. We now have this brand new, what do you call it, director of football, whatever the right term is these days. I've got his name now. I think it's Bertha or Bertha. Bertha was the cartoon, if you were born in the 80s, that did have a very, very fun theme song. And there's obviously lots of interest there because a lot of the players we've already linked with, he signed for Atletico Madrid and other teams that he's worked for, such as Kuna from Wolves. But the other person that keeps coming up over and over again is Victor Gyökeres. I can't pronounce that word at the moment. My mouth is full of nonsense quite clearly. And what I was saying is that because me and Paul Scholes, as we do, my boy, one of the best midfielders ever, Paul Scholes, we're talking about the fact, is it actually that type of player that we need, or would it be better to get an out-and-out striker? And I agreed with him. And, again, Joey and Scott can tell you this. That's always been my thing. Ian Wright is what I go back to as an old school fan. That's who I think we need. I understand it doesn't necessarily, maybe contribute to the style of football that we play, but I still think we need it. I think we need a plan B, because I think the reason we keep coming close and then falling away is because sometimes we do fall into I think Arteta's actually quite accessible, and he will change things up. I think you can see that, because sometimes we've gone super defensive, but I think you want as many choices as you can. So all I was saying is that when you get to the, players like that, they fall more into a Havertz type role. And what I mean by that is not the same type of player as Havertz. They don't create the same kind of chances or, freedom that Havertz does, but they are more likely to maybe fit into a system or maybe fall back. It's not really the right term, as opposed to just being like goal, 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 goal. That's what I'm talking about. Haaland, right? Haaland's always the guy I go back to at the moment. He is just goals. That's all he wants is goals. Or I guess, no, not even a Tammy Abraham, because he's now kind of, well, he was never really that way. He kind of falls back as well. But that is what I meant. I feel like we should go and get a super striker. But now I sound like I'm moaning. I'm not moaning. The greatest thing that's ever happened to me is there's a debate going on right now of me being a moron, and I should never be on the show again. But genuinely, please do invite me back on the show, because I had such a good time. And everyone is so nice and welcoming. And again, how cool is it to be able to talk to, Jamie Carragher and Paul Scholes, who have not only sort of made their pathway through football itself, that's always very nuts when they're just sitting there, but they have, whatever this brand new punditry system is, they are right at the top of the tree. And I'm sure there's lots of former professionals or people that have just retired this year who are now thinking about, well, can I follow in their footsteps? So there is another episode as well that's coming out next week where we get into punditry, and there's a little bit of a tease, so I don't want to ruin it. I did get to ask a silly question at the end, which I was very proud of, because no matter what kind of show I go on, I'm always going to try and drag down the tone. And it was nice getting to talk about PRS as well. I mean, we all hate that, and it's all very, very boring. And, does it work? Arguably not. But it was cool to hear from an expert that Arsenal are actually in a very, very good position financially, because they don't go out and spend these crazy fees on players that they don't need, and they're quite meticulous. I don't think they can get away with that in the summer. There is some back-page reports now. I guess it's newspaper talk, and, they need some stories. But given that the sporting director has come in, there is loads of news stories out there right now that Arsenal are going to spend big, and Arteta's got all this cash. And then we were linked for flipping Anthony, the former Manchester United player, which those are the players that I don't think we need anymore. again, Havertz has been proved, I think, to be a correct purchase. Not necessarily as an out-and-out striker, but I think he's good for the squad. But I don't think you want to continually go out and find these players who need a little bit of a rehab and just hope that Arsenal can do it. But no matter who they get in, I mean, it doesn't matter if it goes in this order, but if they do start buying defenders, goalkeepers, midfielders, they have to have that striker locked down, but the information hasn't come out yet. Otherwise, you have to go the other way, and the striker has to be the first one on the plate. Doesn't even have to be a starter if you don't want to, but it just has to be somebody who you can look at and go, they're going to get 15 goals a season, minimum. And I know there's no guarantees, but I think it's massively important that we do try and do that. So anyway, thank you very much for supporting this podcast for 100 episodes. I understand that I'm an apparition and probably don't even deserve this time, but given that hopefully, you know, we can use all of this to step into the football world a bit more. Even if this is my segue back into actually doing it properly, that would rule. Especially because right now I am rushing around, so I'm about to get in the car in literally 20 minutes to drive to the Emirates, because for Arsenal, not Arsenal TV or whatever they're called, for proper Arsenal channels, I get to cover the Fulham game tonight, which is really, really exciting as well. So I mean, you'll be hearing this tomorrow, I presume. So I've jumped the gun. So I've already covered that game. So make sure you now go back in time and hear me talk about Arsenal. And of course, as my new favourite comeback is, why is this guy covering football? He's a wrestling guy. Because you can only pick one sport or one form of entertainment and you can't do anything else. But listen, congratulations all around to the guys who have absolutely smashed this. I will try and talk to you more, but check them out. Check out the overlap. And hopefully I can throw my voice into your ears very soon.
I have missed those gorgeous tones.
The gorgeous tones of one Simon Miller.
Incredible.
And he is going to throw his voice into our rolls pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
But no, he did a great job on the breakdown and the overlap, as we said. Please check him out on there. Please check us out here, guys, because, hey, we're expanding. We're growing.
We are.
We've got listeners in Russia.
Ooh-wee.
Sometimes I like to look at the analytics, and America is becoming bigger than the UK, which is very beneficial for our friends over at SeatGeek.
Oh.
TBA Wrestling, as you heard at the start of the show. But also Africa is a big market for us, and I don't know exactly why.
Fantastic.
But I think it's brilliant, yeah.
They do. I'll tell you what, there is a big Arsenal following over there.
There is, yeah.
There is.
So maybe they're finding us. When you do look up Gunners, genuinely on Twitter and places like that, some of the stuff that comes up is our podcast. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So maybe that is a beneficial of calling it Gunners Are Us.
I mean, when you do 100 episodes deep,
Hey.
I mean, you're going to exist, aren't you? We exist.
We exist in ether.
That's 100 episodes of talking Arsenal, talking football. We've been going a long time now.
And again, if you go back and download every single episode,
Yeah.
if you listen to the first episode now, it sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
It is a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's still not ideal with the audio, and I apologise, because we are doing this from a sofa in my new front room.
This is I tell you what, for the 100th episode, we've done the comfiest episode I think we've ever done.
Yeah, I'm definitely
I'm
comfortable.
almost horizontal. So are you.
I am horizontal. Yeah, no, we've had some issues, as you've been following along on the podcast, we've been moving around rooms, and it's been echoey. This room's still probably got a little echo in it. There's not much in here.
It's a nice soft sound in here.
Yeah, but there's carpet now, there's a sofa, there's a desk, there's a wardrobe,
It's beautiful.
and there's us.
I've slept in it.
You've slept in it now. But it should have a lot less echo. I'm hoping the audio isn't actually that bad.
I think it's
I think it's going to be right.
I think it's nice.
But it'll still get better. We got new mics and things like that. But the stream room is only going to happen, the stream and podcast room, once everything is out of the current room that has that, all the stuff in,
Yeah.
and back into these rooms that we've renovated. So that will be coming. I don't think it'll be next week. I think maybe the week after. We could be looking at half a stream room that at least will sound better, maybe new mics.
On 102, you're saying?
Maybe 102 will be the big one. But stick with us for that. Anyway.
Hey, does anyone miss the old outros I used to do?
Yes.
Because I used to, I'll gotta be honest, I came up with them slightly on the fly.
Well, it's episode 100. You've got to do one for Everton later. I don't want to derail the whole podcast where you don't talk now because you're thinking. We'll do it at the end anyway, so don't worry.
Wait, okay, yeah.
We're definitely doing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
pressure. Oh.
But no, we've heard from Simon. We've heard from Bruno. We'll hear again from Bruno later again, like I said, if he sends me that file. But we need to get onto it because last week, I think we were talking about, it was England. I think I did it on my own last week, I believe.
Yeah.
I did it standing in the gym.
Nice.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I remember standing in the gym last week for our
boys.
whatnot stream as well.
Peppercorn Boys, yeah. So I did it alone, but I was talking about like Lewis Skelly and England and all those different things. Since then, there was a lot of good news that came out, which one was that Saka was fit enough to potentially play.
Yeah.
But again, Arteta lies a lot.
Throw shade.
We weren't sure if when he said that. I think I said realistically Saka would potentially not play against Fulham maybe get 5 minutes against Everton, and then maybe get 20 minutes against Madrid.
Yeah.
And then the second leg, he might be able to start. That was my forecast. He's played 22 minutes last night. No, longer than that. He had 6 minutes added on, so he played 28 minutes.
Wow.
And he scored within 6 minutes, 23 seconds. So we will talk about that as we kind of go, but chronologically, we'll kind of go through all the different bits.
Sack attack.
Yeah, the sack attack. I'm not sure if I like that at all. Sounds like a version of teabagging, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
A little
it
bit.
depends how you say it, really.
Yeah. Sounds like a Pokemon attack.
Don't separate the sack and the attack too much.
Well, you don't want to separate them. So we were kind of forecasting that last week, but we didn't really have much to talk about. I previewed Fulham Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal Fulham, I should say. I kind of said that all three of us were going to go for Fulham. I must say, in the prediction league, I kind of guessed what you two would go for, and I got it spot on.
Yeah.
And we'll do the prediction league at the end because we've got, I think, 17 games slate we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And today we'll also talk about Arsenal, Real Madrid.
I tell you what, you were going to get that right because after 100 episodes, you kind of get an idea of which way someone's going to swing.
You just do devil's advocate, so I was like, I've gone here, Simon's gone here, so I know where Joe's going.
You saying I go devil's advocate?
Yeah,
I haven't done that for a while.
You haven't done that for a while. So we talked about Saka. We were kind of just discussing the season a little bit last week because it was the last kind of stop point before the end of the season because we got 10 games left, 12. We have 11 games left now in all comps. Maybe we have 15.
Yep, hopefully.
I think it's 15. Quarterfinals, so yeah, five more games, including Joe's. 3 more games. Yeah, 14.
Well, let's say we've got 14, 15, then we're going to go all the way.
Well, yeah, this is it. And
because we are positive.
yeah, I was just talking about kind of just the state of the season. And it's one that I really think we're going to look back on in a few years as a really positive season. I don't know how it's going to end. I'm going to guess it's probably going to end with us going out in the Champions League in the quarterfinals. Oh, it's the quarters, isn't it? I was thinking it was the round before. We've already gone through. So there's less games.
Yeah, not
We've
many.
got 11 plus 3. So no, it's 14. I'm back to where I was at.
Boys, we got 14 cup finals. That's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah, well, this is it. But we were kind of... I think there'll be the season that Lewis Skelly and Ethan Waneri came through.
Big.
That's the kind of big part of the season, I'd say. Learning about that. I think we've also learned how important Saka is. I think we've learned that Odegaard, without the players around him, isn't as not. I think he's been really harshly criticised this year. He's still creating so many big chances per game, more than any other player in the league. So the quality hasn't changed. I think the quality he's giving the ball to has changed. Yeah, because we'll dip into it now with the Arsenal Fulham game last night. We talked about last night. There's an inevitability about Saka that people like Salah have. That when you watch Liverpool, there's no week you don't think he's going to score or assist, is there? Yeah. On a fantasy football level, we don't think he's not going to do anything. He's going to do something.
Oh, you always have Salah in.
And we've talked about it before.
Always captain him as well.
Sometimes with Saka, you watch a game and he's not really involved, and at the end of the game you go, yeah, it's a shame Saka wasn't involved. And you're like, well, he did score and get an assist.
He's subtle and he does it quietly.
Yeah. Sometimes he blows teams apart and you go, he was just unplayable. Yeah. But a lot of the time, you kind of finish a game and going, yeah, Saka played. And they're like, what was his stats? And they're like, 2 big chances created, 1 assist and 1 goal. And you go, oh, that's a bloody good game, isn't it? And Salah does that. Sometimes you don't really notice him there, but he's always the final pass. He's always the guy at the back post nodding in a header or something. You think, why is Salah scoring a header? Look at Saka last night. Yeah. Gets a little flick on, a gorgeous flick on by Martinelli. We need to talk about Martinelli last night as well. Yeah. But there's an inevitability about Saka now that he's that good. And I think what we forget is, I think he was on his way to, not what Salah's done this season. I don't think he's there yet. But he was going to be very close. Yeah. We're talking, this is a guy who has, I think, the 3rd most assists in the league still.
Even with that time
He hasn't played since the start of December.
Yeah.
He's got the 2nd most chances created this season. He hasn't played for 4 months. Yeah. He was on his way to just an unreal season. And you can kind of tell that. And the assist record was ridiculous, wasn't it? Yeah. If you remember, I think he had 11 assists in his first 11 games or something. Yeah. Before the injury. He'd already had 6 goals. I think he made it 7 last night, I think it was. it's not even, that's not normal numbers,
No.
you know.
He just quietly gets on with it.
Yeah,
There's a classiness to the subtlety.
But I think if he didn't get injured, I think this was going to be that season everyone goes, that was the year we realised he is actually one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he got injured. The nice part is within 6 minutes, he's gone, yeah, I'm starting exactly where I ended.
Yeah.
Again, he might not score or assist again to the end of the season, but if he plays, he will.
His numbers are
He
still
will
going to be
get-
up, yeah.
If there's 13 more games left, he will get 5 or 6 goals and he'll get 5 or 6 assists.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, he's inevitable. Like, he really is. The whole game goes through him, and we were reminded that. And like I said, when we look back at this season, I think when Aeri and Lewis Skelly, one, they're going to save us money. Two, they're unbelievable players. And Declan Rice said in an interview this week he did with Lewis Skelly on Sky. Injuries or not, those two are going to play this year.
Yeah.
And
Which is mad, because, I mean, I remember months back, we were talking about how Arteta, one thing he doesn't do is bring through the youth from Arsenal. A lot of the time we're looking for answers outside of the club.
Yeah.
But for him to rely on these two specifically, they come in, all the hype was pretty much on Nweri at the start.
yeah,
Lewis Skelly was kind of the secondary to Nweri. But Lewis Skelly has become the main character. Like we say, he's a film main character in his life
yeah, he
and
really
ours
is.
now.
He's got main character syndrome
He
or
does.
something. What's the word? What do people say? I said it last week on the show for sure. He's main character coded. That's
Energy.
what the kids would say. Yeah,
Main,
he's got energy.
main character energy.
Yeah, he really does. He's got kind of something about him that, similar to Saka, like when he came on last night, it's his return from action. You think, what's going to happen? But then when you're watching it, it's good. Of course he scored.
Yeah.
Of course he appeared at that back post. But the goal last night was kind of what we've been missing. It's not that bit of genius coming off the wing and shooting or crossing. Declan Rice has been unbelievable at crossing the ball this season. When Aeri's been unbelievable at cutting in and shooting and getting goals.
Oh, those shots, yeah.
It's not that we've missed. It's his general play, but it's also he smelt out that attack. Other players weren't standing at that back post from right wing.
Yeah.
It's what Salah does. Salah scores so many goals like that. You think half his goals are tapping at the back post. Like, why aren't people aren't barking him? Why is he even there? He's right wing. Why is he not on the touchline? Things like that. They figured it out.
It's football intelligence.
Yeah.
It's something we've said. I mean, Saka's still young. Like, and to the fact that he has this football intelligence, this football IQ, this early on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Salah. We're comparing him to Salah. Salah's an older player now. Yeah. He's been around. He's done it.
The league.
He's done all this stuff. He's doing this from experience.
Yeah.
Saka's doing it not from experience. He's become the focal point of the Arsenal team. He's not carrying Arsenal, but he's the guy that we look to now, and he's still young.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, think about his football intelligence in like 5-6 years' time.
Yeah.
It could be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's beyond his time.
Yeah.
And we've also had seasons with him. Like if he wants to stay at Arsenal till he's 30 odd, he's the guy who's going to break all the caps. Like
Club legend. You're talking club legend.
If he can get us a couple things, I think a European trophy is huge, and ideally he's come back just in time.
Yeah.
I did say we were going to talk a little bit about Martinelli. Martinelli, for the first time in a long time, was unplayable against Fulham.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just gave him extra room. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the new technical directors come in and give him a spook. Do you know what I mean? Like put the willies up him a little
He's
bit.
playing
do you know
for
what I
that
mean?
franchise
He's
tag
gone,
now,
oh
yeah.
God, Nico Williams is coming, and I need to quickly get my act together.
I think it's the pairing of him and Saka. Like, I know when people talk about the attack of like combinations, it's not always about that the two have to play together and they both attack and it's dangerous and potent. It's the fact that everyone was focusing on Martinelli for a little bit there because Saka wasn't there. Now Saka's back. Everyone's focusing back on Saka, so it's just opening up everything for Martinelli.
Yeah, and I think, but even before Saka came on, he looked unplayable, but he looked even more unplayable once Saka came on. And I think you're right. I think there's also something too. We forget Saka has been man marked doubled
Yeah. Yeah.
for most of his last.
It's what
few
Ted.
seasons.
I was going to say it keeps him quiet. It doesn't. He still gets the numbers.
Well, if you think of Liverpool's team, Salah and Mane on the wings, you know, you double up on Salah, Mane scores a hat-trick.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, we can't do that. So now you've left Salah one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need that double threat. I think when you take away your centre forward and the defenders go, all right, don't worry about marking Moreno, who, again, we have to talk about.
Yeah. Yes,
And then they go, yeah, now take away their best player, Saka, we double man mark. Now we've got our 4 defenders free.
Yeah.
Who do we do? I'll just put everyone on Martinelli.
Yeah.
So Martinelli looks weak.
Yeah.
So it's true. It spaces it out. It adds that threat, and even that extra player last night meant that you could put Moreno back in midfield at one point and put Trossard up front, and all of a sudden that attack looks winnable. Like you know, Martinelli, Saka, and Trossard, that can go and win the Champions League.
It can.
I don't think it's Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo.
No, nothing is.
But it doesn't have to be.
No.
Because some teams don't need that type of firepower. Annoyingly, I think the reason we felt, not confident, but the reason we thought we had a chance against Madrid was Saka comes back, cool, that does help. But our defence is so solid.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
you know, they give and they then take away.
It's like a trade. Why do we have to trade? I swear no other teams do this. It doesn't feel like it.
I think other teams have, like, you know, Tottenham, Man United, these teams have had these seasons, especially this year. Bournemouth even had it. But the amount we've had is ridiculous. And it's the level of them, you know, and it's the timing of them. Like, you know, Saka goes down as Jesus gets back into form, and then Jesus goes back into form just as he finds form. Then they go, all right, January transfer window, we need to, you know, we were short anyway, we need to make sure we got strength because we've just lost Jesus and Saka. They go, no, we've got Havertz. Havertz will get us through.
Yeah.
The window shuts, and 3 days later, Havertz tears his hamstring off the bone. He's not back till pre-season. Martinelli then goes down in the next game in a losing effort at St James's Park. And they go, oh, we've got Sterling, Trossard and Waneri for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And we go, how did that happen at that time? And then, you know, Tomiyasu's been out for, it's going to be 2 years by the time he comes back. Calafiori keeps getting injured on international duty. He goes and does his knee.
Yeah.
Ben White's finally back and fit, and you think, all right, Ben White's going to get back in the team. He gets injured. Same game he's injured for last night. Timber takes a knock and ends up having to go off eventually. Kiwior comes on and proves exactly why he's good, but he's not the level.
No. He's a replacement, but not quite the level of replacement we need.
He got run ragged by Muniz and Traore last night.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying when Vinicius and Mbappe are about to go against him. And in the history of Arsenal, you think of Sylvestre up against Messi.
Yeah.
You think of who was it that went up against? Who do we play? Not Messi. Someone, and we basically had to play a backup. It was Holding against someone, I think. Every time we get into a massive match, there goes a centre back, and all of a sudden we've got to play someone against a top player, and we just have a history of doing this.
What is causing
7 days out? Gabriel goes down with a hamstring, and you just think, where is our luck? And again, if he's goes down with the hamstring, it's awful no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you have Calafiori fit or Tomiyasu fit or Ben White fit or Timber fit, you go, at least one of them could play centre back, and then we've got the extra right back.
Yeah.
None of them are fit. So we're looking at potentially playing Lewis Skelly, Kiwior, Saliba, and I don't know, Partey at right back. And do you know what's happened every time Partey's played at right back? We lose football games.
I said to Dad last night, I was like, the one thing we don't need is for him to do the Partey at right back thing.
Yeah, and what did he do in that game last night? He moved to Partey at right back.
Yeah.
Took Timber off.
Can we not? Is there no way to shift Lewis Skelly across and put Zinchenko at left back?
I think that's more dangerous than the Partey. The tough thing is, I think if Timber is actually, I think in the post-match, he said Gabriel's one, he felt his hamstring. Bare minimum, that's 3 weeks. He's missing the Madrid games. Timber, he said it was a knock on his knee.
Yeah. And he played on.
He played on for another 40 minutes.
Which we know from history is not a good move.
Not a good sign with Timber, but he eventually had to come off, and he said he had to come off. He didn't say, I just did precautionally.
Yeah.
He said he had to come off, which tells me he's got a knock, which means he's not going to play at the weekend minimum.
Yeah.
But again, if he can have 7 days rest and they can get him ready, that might be fine.
Yeah.
Ben White, they said, what's going on with Ben White then? He said he felt something on his knee, and then he left the press conference. If Ben White was fit, I think you play Ben White at right back, you play Timber with Saliba, and you play Lewis Skelly, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, it's
but
fine.
I don't know if that's even plausible. I really do see a world where we go against Madrid next week with Raya, Partey at right back, Saliba, Kiwior, Lewis Skelly left back, and a midfield of Rice, Moreno, and Odegaard. And then up front, Trossard, Saka, and Martinelli.
Which isn't...
It's not the worst thing, but it's also... It just feels... I think Moreno should start up front because we've got used to that.
Yeah. And he's finding the goal.
and Partey should be in midfield with Rice and Odegaard, and there should be a right back.
Yeah.
But it just smells of Partey at right back.
Yeah.
And Partey at right back, our percentage of winning is very low.
Yeah. Surely he knows that. No, regardless
But
of
he keeps
the
doing
setup.
it. He played Liverpool with that.
Yeah.
And he actually pocketed Salah that day, but we also drew 2-2.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But talking to Marino, he's now got, I think it's 5 goals in his last 6 appearances.
Yeah.
He's the most informed forward outside of Mbappe in Europe right now. Ironically.
I love him.
And when they're going, okay, the 2 top forwards are going against each other next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So,
I think I said this before. I think I've said it on the podcast before. Like before he did all this,
you watched one Bournemouth game where he played attacking midfield and you thought, this guy can score. And
it was
it was so ridiculous. It's because he had one shot from the edge of the box that went wide. And
No,
for
no.
one reason, it changed your whole mind.
It's the directness of him. Like there's a directness about him. There was a Chelsea game we played at Stamford Bridge as well that he should have scored a couple goals, and he wasn't up front at that point. He was coming from midfield, but it's the movements he makes and the directness he has in front of goal. It's not always perfect, but it's something that we lack at Arsenal, have done for a while. Is that directness? Like I said to Dad last night, there's something about the.
I don't want to say it, and I know James from Gunner Blog said it. There's a Giroud-ness about him, and he's not the level of Giroud
No.
as an attacker.
Yeah.
Giroud's unbelievable. But there is something there that reminds you a little bit of Giroud. There's a touch.
It's the directness. Like it is. We've lacked it at Arsenal for a while. Like there's always been a thing about Arsenal in front of goal that's been a bit floofy, like a little bit wafty.
I like that word. Yeah.
Like it's a little bit like they're swinging at stuff, but they're not going through the ball. Like that's the only best way to describe it. But there's something about the way Moreno attacks the ball in front of goal. It just seems different. Like he seems a lot more. There's velocity to what he does, and I think by putting him up front, it's kind of showing that there is a velocity to what he does because we're putting him in front of goal now instead of him having to make runs from midfield. He's in front of goal, getting on the end of things, and it won't always work. Like there's going to be games where we're going to watch him and he is going to like waft it past the goal, but it's just something about his gameplay that I like, and it's something we've lacked, and we're getting to see it up front now, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, some of his finishes have been real striker finishes, and there's something strong about him. That one last night was rotten. The fact he even took the shot on was weird.
Yeah.
And it was wafty, and then it just deflected in, but he would take it. But the thing is, sometimes that's what forwards do.
Yeah.
And maybe he's getting game time now, and he's starting to go, do you know what? I'm starting to understand, get a feeling for his players.
Yeah. And now he's got Saka setting him up again as well, so...
I'd say this, the Saka cut in and in-swinging cross to Moreno could be a problem.
That's the other thing. He gets up for those crosses. He gets up.
That is a good point. I think against Leicester, it was Winery's crosses that were destroying them. Saka could take that to a whole nother level.
Well, I mean, Man United nearly did it with Maguire up top last night. When they were
It
trying
shows you sometimes if you can just push teams back. And just I've said it forever. Liverpool do it. They just spam crosses. We kind of need to talk a little bit about the season as a whole, but Liverpool currently... Sorry. Liverpool went out of the Champions League, lost the final to Carabao, and then went away.
Yeah.
And that can't feel good for them. Like there's a little bit of a trajectory going there.
Bit of a cloud over
they can be got at. They have to lose like 4 games, and we have to win out for us to win the league.
Yeah.
That's not really my agenda now.
You never know.
You never know. Obviously, it's nice to be there. Forest beating Man United with Elanga's unbelievable goal.
Yeah.
That again is also a bit of a problem because they are staying that right in behind us.
It's a worry.
Which is an unbelievable effort from them.
Yeah.
But
it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke at this point.
They're also in the semi-final of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
If they could get Champions League football and win the FA Cup, that I would have taken that at the start of the season.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, I think nearly everyone in the league, other than maybe City, would have taken that. I think even if you give that to Liverpool at the start of the season, Champions League, and if you'd said to Liverpool at the start of the season, 3rd in the FA Cup, they would have taken it.
Yeah.
We would have taken it.
Yeah. But it's coming from a club that the fan base probably wasn't expecting.
They just didn't want to get relegated.
Yeah. Which I'm very happy for them because I mean I like Nottingham Forest a lot.
Yeah,
I like that they're one of those teams that back in the day, they were a big club.
What,
They
the
were-
European Cup?
Yeah, they were a force, and I like Nottingham Forest. I like the area. I like Nottingham in general. I like
Yeah.
the ground. I like the way it's set up there.
Yeah.
I think I'm a big fan of what Nottingham
They're a
Forest.
proper
does.
team, and it is nice to kind of see teams like that kind of on the up.
Yeah.
Again, seeing Newcastle win the Carabao Cup was nice to
Yeah.
an extent. There's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to worry about Forest. Man United play Man City this weekend.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting because what we got to do is right before the international, we got that. I can't remember who we played, but we won 1-0. We just
Chelsea, wasn't it? Chelsea at home.
It was Chelsea at home.
a very dull game.
Awful game. And
Yeah.
that Fulham game last night was kind of an odd game, but we won 2-1.
Yeah.
They got a late deflected goal. They could have scored 3 or 4. They deserved a goal at
We
least.
were a bit of a mess at the back.
Yeah, but that's what's best. That was what we're going into Madrid with.
but
After a year of, we haven't conceded more than 2 goals in a game.
Yeah.
And then we go, let's get rid of all our defenders and start playing fully open at the back right before Madrid. I don't know what is going on.
There is a difference though between having to throw that defense together like 3/4 into a game or start setting up a game.
Yeah.
Like there is a difference.
Yeah, it was a strange game. Fulham are a very good team. They've actually got Liverpool at the weekend at home,
Yeah.
which is a very interesting tie.
Yeah.
We're away at Everton, which is always odd, isn't it, how this happens? Like,
Yeah.
Why are they playing Everton and we're away? No, why are they playing Everton and we're playing Fulham? And then the weekend, we're playing Everton, they're playing Fulham.
We need reverse fix.
Yeah,
we need
what-
reverse results from these fixtures.
Yeah, it's really weird. But again, like I said, the league isn't a thing. What I'm worried about is the teams in the top 5 losing, and that includes Liverpool.
Yeah.
I want everything to be as tight as possible because that Chelsea game really felt like a moment because
Yeah.
if we had lost that, they would have been 2 points behind us.
Yeah.
Forest would have gone above us. And it felt like all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, we could lose 2 in a row and
Yeah.
you come 5th.
We're not just keeping up with the leaders. We're now like dropping off.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. And then last night, that could have been a tricky one. Coming back from international, the injury early on, Fulham at home, Fulham at top side.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you lose that one. We do get a bit panicked or even
Yeah.
draw it. But instead, 6 points out of 6 the last 2 games. It's not guaranteed us top 4.
No.
I know a lot of people are saying we've guaranteed top 3 or top 2. Sorry, I really don't think that because there's no Forest aren't stopping.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees for second. But every time we do that, and a team like Chelsea or a team like City drop points,
Yeah.
it just makes it feel a bit more secure. Like we've definitely got Champions League. And PFA wise, it's really important to get that 3rd year of Champions League football.
Yeah.
The 3rd year of Champions League football basically opens up everything.
Yeah.
Buying players for 100 million, that is doable for Arsenal. That is fine. But what was tough was when you buy Isaac for 150 million, you then got to put him on 300 grand a week. Then you got to lift Sakas and Salibas.
Yeah.
Then you got to say, Gabriel, if you're staying, we got to put you on that. All of a sudden, you go PFA wise, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
What being in the Champions League 3 years does, and not spending any money this past January, allows us to go. If we wanted to do that now,
Yeah.
we could. I really don't think we're going to.
We don't feel like that kind of team these days. We're not really going to splash the cash.
No, it doesn't feel like. I feel like we would splash the cash, but we need. I think Arsenal are a type of team that. I don't know the exact words. We're the type of team that will spend money, but we want the wages to be realistic.
Yeah.
And being in the Champions League definitely does that. We had Andrea Berta is the new technical director at Arsenal. He is known for spending 100 million on Julian Alvarez last year.
Nice. Nice.
Which that is the type of signing I could see him doing for us.
Yeah.
And I think his early imprints are already showing that. What I mean by that is, will he buy Isaac for 150 million? Go, here's 300 grand. Let's lift everyone around him up.
Yeah.
No. What he'll do is he'll go, who could I spend 60 million on and put him on wages that are similar to Timbers?
Yeah.
And that's what Morata's done at Atletico. I think Atletico actually, Alvarez is on actually very good money.
Yeah.
He also bought Conor Gallagher. He's also dealt with a massive personality in Simone for so long.
Yeah.
Simone is the highest paid manager in football,
Wow.
in European football, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's dealt with a big personality that is ingrained in a club.
The Atletico blueprint is a solid
And
one.
I'd say we're also the Atletico of the UK.
Big
Like,
time.
The manager is similar. The style is actually a little bit similar.
Yeah.
The type of players we'll be looking to get are similar.
Yeah.
The moving on of top players is probably similar.
Yeah.
And I genuinely believe there are two ways to do this summer. You go out and you go, we'll have Isaac for 150 million and he goes on 300 grand. You renew, because Saka and Saliba are 2 years now.
Yep.
They have to get that deal done.
Oh, yeah.
So Saliba and Gabriel need to be re-signed.
Yep.
Sorry, Saliba and Saka have to be re-signed.
Yeah.
Gabriel also has to be re-signed.
Yeah, very important.
Gabriel's agent has also proved 2 years ago he will ask Saudi Arabia.
He's shopping around.
And he has to, because, if he goes, he's offered 400 grand to go play in Saudi, B wants to stay at Arsenal, what could you offer him? If we turn around and go, here's 150 grand or whatever, or whatever he's already on, he will leave. I think Gabriel was the type of player that will go, he's a mercenary a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to. I think he really wants to play at Arsenal.
He'd rather, but if the option's on the table for that much more money.
And also, PFA-wise, it gets to a point where you can only pay so many players.
Yeah.
When you give Saliba the big contracts in Saka and Odegaard, all of a sudden, where's the money for Gabriel?
Yeah.
Where's the money for the guy coming in? So I think the way in which you play it is, I think, the only way we get Isaac, is you pay 150 million, you put him on massive wages. Saliba and Saka get the new deal.
Yeah.
Gabriel is sold for a big money. Trossard is also sold for money.
Yeah.
They move on Partey and they move on Jorginho. They get rid of Zinchenko. They get rid of Kivior. And they bring in players around Isaac that are probably... Naipan gets bought. I think Garcia, the goalie, gets bought.
Yeah.
But I think then they look a little weaker at wing in midfield. I think they start looking at players that we don't necessarily know. Zubamendi maybe doesn't get done.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, in a perfect world, we go get Zubamendi, Naipan, Isaac Garcia, and Nico Williams.
It's not
and
realistic,
we don't move on Trossard.
Yeah.
And we keep Gabriel.
Yeah.
We only get rid of Zinchenko and Kivior.
Yeah.
And you go, oh wow, happy days.
That's kind of like you're playing in FIFA Manager mode with the cheat code.
But I think the yin and the yang of that is we do all that. I think that happens.
Yeah.
I think this guy, and he's already said it because there was an Ornstein bomber on Monday, which was that Arsenal are in for Gyökeres, which has been a name that has been floated around for a long time.
Yeah.
But we seem to be the team that just didn't have any interest.
Yeah.
He seems very interested in the player.
Yeah.
And if you can try and make sense of it, there is sense to it. He was a £100 million player in the summer. They are offering around 55 million now is about the price to get him out of Sporting.
Yeah.
He wants to get out of Sporting. He's 26.
He does need to make that move now.
Yeah, 55, 60 million guarantees that player. We're looking at having to price Sesko for 85.
Yeah.
Isaac's 150. Sesko's 21.
Yeah.
He's had an okay season. He shouldn't have stayed another season. I don't think he's gained much from it.
No.
Gyökeres has got he's got something like 48 goals in 50 appearances or something. He's got some stupid stat. A lot of them are penalties.
Yeah.
Which is odd. He's an unbelievable striker of the ball. The thing is, there's a lot of... I'm going to try and make sense of this. You pay 55 million in that, you put him on 150 grand wages. Therefore, they can go get Nico Williams for 60 million release clause and put him on 160, 70 million.
Yeah.
160, 70,000. You then go, Saka and Saliba, you're the highest paid. Here you are. Gabriel, here's your highest paid. Zubamendi, that deal gets done.
Yeah.
And also, when you look at a window that's Gyökeres, Zubamendi, Naipan, Garcia, and Nico Williams, that's actually achievable at salary and at price point. And you don't have to get rid of Gabriel. You might have to lose Trossard because that might be out of our hands.
Yeah.
Partey and Jorginho going anyway. But that seems more realistic. And then when you think of the player that Gyökeres is, he's a high-touch forward, which is what Arteta wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to replace Havertz. He just wants Havertz who scores more.
Yeah.
But Havertz also scores a decent amount.
Yeah.
Marino put in that position is scoring loads. So now put a guy who can strike the ball unbelievably in that same position, who also does want to touch the ball a lot. He
Kind of fits the formula more.
It kind of does.
And we have the option, like you said, to build the squad around as well. Like, rather than just throwing all your money at, like, Isaac.
And again, here's the Portuguese league. Is he a Darwin? I don't know. Is he someone who can score a lot of goals in the Portuguese league? Lacazette scored a lot of goals in the French league.
Yeah.
Struggled a bit in the Premier League. He didn't struggle, but he didn't score the numbers. But
you also put him in a team like Arsenal who do create stuff.
Look at Moreno. He's played, 7-8 games at centre forward, including Spain now.
Yeah.
And he scored 6 or 7 goals. If you put someone who can strike the ball as well as Gyökeres, who can,
Yeah.
I think he might be already sensible. But I also like what's with it. I don't think we can go and buy Isaac and not buy anyone else and lose players. I think we have to keep that squad as close to together as possible, but add Gyökeres, add a winger. Like if you're essentially going, all right, we're adding Gyökeres, and we're doing Trossard for Nico Williams, and we're doing Zubamendi for Partey, Naipan for Jorginho, Garcia for Neto. We're not gaining players because everyone that left got replaced. But every single person is an upgrade.
Quality, yeah.
Gyökeres is also an upgrade. Not an upgrade. He's adding because we're not selling a forward to get him.
Yeah.
We're losing Trossard as a left winger, but bringing in a left winger.
Adds depth as well, yeah.
And then, therefore, Nico Williams is off the left, Saka's off the right, and Gyökeres down the middle. But it also means Havertz can still play in midfield. Because you can then push, obviously, because you think of numbers-wise, you're losing a holding midfielder, but Rice could also go backwards into that 6 role with Zubamendi as an option. Odegaard's there, Moreno's there. Havertz could play left 8 or right 8.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Odegaard doesn't have to play every game because Havertz could be the player in that
Quality
game.
depth.
And Moreno's in the left.
I like that.
Yeah, so I actually think it makes a lot of sense. The way in which he is a sporting director in the past really feels like that is also how he's going to do it.
That feels like his move,
So time will tell. Again, do I think Isaac would massively change us? Yes. Do I think it's possible without losing a load of players? No. PFA is on a massive increase right now. We're doing very well.
Yeah.
But the FFP, but I don't think it's that well.
I'd love to know what the general...
And also, I don't like the knock-on effect because all of a sudden, Saka does go, I need that same money.
I wonder what percentage of Arsenal fans, if you asked them, like, would you take Isak up top as that, like, big shot in the arm, but you lose, like, some quality regulars? Or do you just bolster out the squad, like you said, with Gyökeres, and it's just overall better, like, over the whole field, and we don't lose the players we love? I think I'd rather keep the players we love and just add that addition to what Moreno's currently doing with someone who is way more potent in that area. But again, the idea of Isak coming is very exciting. Like, having that one player, and he is someone I would love to see in an Arsenal shirt. But I think you have to take into account, like you said, the entire setup and not losing...
It's the knock-on, like I said, it really is the knock-on. Because you bring Isaac in, Saka then gets 300 grand, Saliba gets it, Odegaard goes, well, technically I should be getting it.
Yeah.
And they go, we can't, so you move on Odegaard, and all of a sudden you have to go buy £100 million holding number 10, who then, like Arda Güler, who comes in on 130, and then in 2 years he goes, I'm now your whole team, can you pay me? And that's the year in which maybe you go, we have to sell Saka to keep this guy. And you go, we can't. Like, there's a knock-on effect here that keeps us... Obviously, eventually Saka or Saliba will eventually be turned.
But they shouldn't now.
Not
while we're in the position we're in.
Saliba could sign a new deal and do another 3 years and be 25 and go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And he'd be still not even in his prime.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go yet.
He doesn't need to go at 22 and be there for 15 years.
No.
You know? Saka, I don't know. This time off really feels like he was securing that he is Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he wants to be that.
It feels...
Before I didn't know. Whereas now I feel like maybe in his head he's like, if it all stays the way it's going, because that's the benefit is our players are getting really good.
Yeah.
But we're also really good.
That's the key is we need to stay in amongst it we are, because I think...
Because why would you leave? Like, because if Arsenal are challenging every year, why would, like, before we lose our players to City and stuff, Liverpool, why would you go to City and Liverpool if we're challenging every year? Because you could do it with Arsenal, and also it's history to win it with Arsenal because we haven't won it for ages.
We need to stay in amongst it. I mean, I would understand fully if we fell off and he started to look at options, I would understand from his standpoint, because someone like him, he does need that spotlight at a top level, for sure.
What's nice as well, there was a list of the best centre-backs in the world right now, and there was 2 Liverpool, 2 Arsenal, 1 Real Madrid, 1 Barcelona, 2 Man City.
Amazing. And
it makes you realise, like, oh, we are in that.
We're there.
We're there. Like, why would any of these players go, I need to go to Barcelona?
We just need to finish the story. We just need to get over that line.
So as long as we stay in it, I think we'll be able to keep a lot of these players. But the wage structure is a big one, because it happened with Ramsey. Ozil got paid massive money, and Ramsey said, I want to stay, but I need to be paid that.
Yeah.
And they went, we can't. And we lost Ramsey. And then we lost Ozil. So
you
can play it really badly, and they have to be really careful because we've got so many assets.
Yeah.
And it's easy to go, because guess what? In 2 years' time, when Eri could be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And we could have found our own Yamal. And all of a sudden, it's like, but he's really good on the right, and Saka can only play on the right. And all of a sudden, they go, Can we get 200 million for Saka to PSG or somewhere? I don't want to.
No.
I want to have them both. But that's the point of what they're doing with the youth and stuff like that is you either make money with youth or they become your best players.
Yeah. But you have to stay in the fight.
You have to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So like since the last podcast, weirdly, we named a sporting director. We had an Ornstein bomber for Gyökeres. Saka's returned to football and scored.
Yep.
And we're getting ready for a huge Premier League weekend. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into what we do every single week since we started the podcast, which is the prediction league.
Heck yeah.
So,
We've got some games.
and again, I know this episode is long, but it is the 100th episode. We've got last week. I'll just say there was 3 games because it was just last night's games from last week's episode.
That was a tight little
And it
accumulator.
was Wolves, West Ham, Arsenal, Fulham, Forest, Man United. I got 3 out of 3. Joe and Simon got 2 out of 3. Which overall, you can hear my paper going here.
Which is mad because the one that I didn't get, I always back Wolves.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it puts Joe on 124, me on 133, and Simon on 135.
I need to make up some points.
You do, and you have an opportunity because there's 17 games here.
Okay.
And the last game on this preview is Man United versus Man City. That will be previewed by
Bruno.
So what we'll do is we'll start tonight with the games because obviously if you're listening to this today,
Yeah.
you want to get previewing on tonight. What we'll do is we'll do tonight's games relatively quick because if you're listening to this episode on Thursday, it'd be really annoying.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of whiz through these, and I've actually got Simon's with us as well here.
Nice.
So first game is Saints versus Palace. What are you thinking?
I think at this point in the season, Saints. I'm going to have to go Palace because Saints aren't. It's kind of just. I wouldn't call it a tank, but I mean, they've fallen off so far. There's a lot to claw back here, and I don't think they're going to have the fight in them.
Simon's also gone Palace. I'm going to go draw, just to be a little devil's advocate.
I like it.
The next game is Bournemouth versus Ipswich. Simon's gone Bournemouth.
Okay.
I think that's Bournemouth's all round, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, Bournemouth too strong. I mean, at this point, I do need to make up some points, but I also have to be smart and not fall off too much.
Yeah, you don't want to lose a point. The next one is Brighton versus Villa.
That's got draw written all over it.
Joe's going draw. Simon has gone draw.
Yee.
I'm going to go... It's so hard not to go draw.
Yeah.
It's a Champions League week. I'm going to... Usually the one after the Champions League, but I'm going to go one before.
Nice.
I'm going to go Brighton.
Okay.
Home win. We got Newcastle versus Brentford.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Simon's got Newcastle.
Okay.
Do you know what? Carabao Cup dump. Umbuemo. I'm going to go Brentford.
Yeah. I'm going to have to play the field here and go draw.
Joe's going draw. We've got City versus Leicester.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
City.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I put Simon down already. Yeah, we're all City.
Okay.
Simon's got a ... on this next one. Liverpool-Everton. He's gone draw.
Ooh.
I think it's Liverpool day. I think Everton are stubborn. They're good under Moyes.
Yeah.
And Liverpool are really in a moment where they're not cracking.
No.
You got to think it's been as Luke in the distance having a big stretch. Liverpool have the Trent situation going on. It's very high likely now that Trent and Van Dijk will leave at the end of the season.
There's talk around Salah as well.
Yeah, there's it's going to be very interesting next year, especially if City get this point deduction that's being talked about.
Yeah.
It could be City point deduction, Liverpool without all 3 of those.
It could
And
be
we
our
could be getting
season.
Gyökeres and Nico Williams. Let's keep it together for one more year. Let's please win something next year.
I'm going to Everton because I mean I've got to manifest something.
Okay. And then the next one is Chelsea Tottenham. Simon's gone Chelsea.
Okay.
I'm going Chelsea.
I'm going to draw.
Okay. Some of these points are going to be mad.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're on to the weekend, guys. So in case everyone that was listening to that beyond Tuesday or Wednesday, it'd be a bit nicer for you to listen to these.
And you'll also know how we did if you're listening on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. So the first game here is Arsenal versus Everton at Goodison Park. So I did that the wrong way around. We all go Arsenal, don't we? So we might as well write them down.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Simon, he's got Arsenal. But we'll talk a little bit about it. It's going to be interesting because of the Timber situation. I'm interested whether Partey is a right back.
Yeah.
I think he will be. I think if Timber's got a knock,
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense. I think if it very much depends. If Liverpool go and lose to Everton at home tonight,
Yeah.
I think all of a sudden he tries to get Timber ready because he's going to be caught between a rock and a hard place here because all our efforts need to be in the Champions League.
Yeah.
But we've already lost Gabriel, who is probably one of our biggest hopes as far as scoring and defending. If Liverpool lose, I think he starts to go, oh God, what am I fighting for?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but this really does feel like Partey at right back,
Yeah.
Moreno in midfield, Trossard. I think when Area will start again, I don't think you should start Saka unless your intention is to get 60 minutes. But 60 minutes after 20 minutes
Yeah.
and then playing, what, they're going to be playing 3 days later against Madrid?
Do you think they want to get a test run in though? Like,
I think you get him another 30 minutes, maybe 35,
Yeah.
and then you start him against Madrid.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Because you want to get a little feel of how you're going to set up against Madrid, really.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not the same playing Everton, but
Yeah.
you want to see how it works and
Mm-hmm.
how it can go.
Yeah, it's so tough to gauge. I think Moreno will be up front with Wineri and Martinelli. Maybe even Trossard and Martinelli on the right.
Yeah.
And then Partey on the right back. No one else can really be changed. It'd be Kivior or Saliba, Lewis Skelly. The middle could be... It could be Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard. I'd rather that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather Jorginho play if Partey's at right back. But we'll see. Maybe we'll see Zinchenko in midfield. Remember, he started to do that right before
Yeah.
the international break.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what I thought about that.
He
But
scored.
he did, yeah. But he did also complain afterwards that it's too much running. So, a bit of a worry.
Which I think is a big part of the injuries, I think. The work rate that we have at Arsenal is drilled.
Yeah, it really is. Whatever happens, they can't have this many injuries next year.
No.
I don't think you can. I think it's too cursed and too bad luck. Like, this season is somewhere between... Right now, it's on a knife edge of getting the bin forever and historic.
Yeah.
It's falling more towards going in the bin.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, in 3 years' time, I don't think it will be in the bin. I think it'll be put on the mantelpiece.
Yeah.
And kind of, I don't know, talked about fondly.
Well, we've also been very unlucky, but we're still at second. So, like, next season, if we go and we don't have the bad luck that we've had this season, it could mean everything next season. So,
This week, boy. Luca boy is coming up. Oh,
Hey,
big
Lucas.
comfort. I don't know. But Everton are a weird team. It feels so out of whack because of the FA Cup straight after the international. I feel really like I haven't seen anyone for a while, so I don't know what. And that's why that Fulham game was so important to get that win, just because you're like, I don't know what's going on. The next game we got is Ipswich versus Wolves. Simon's got Ipswich.
ooh.
I'm going to go Wolves.
Do you reckon Wolves can get back-to-back wins here?
Yeah.
I'm going to back Wolves because I didn't this week and it didn't
So
help
you know
me.
it'll be a draw. The next one's Palace versus Brighton. Simon's gone Palace.
Okay.
Who'd against Brighton? Draw.
Give me Brighton.
Joe.
I got you something.
Yeah, you have. West Ham versus Bournemouth.
Ooh.
Simon's gone West Ham.
Okay. It's a good game.
I'm going to draw.
I'm going to go Bournemouth.
That's going to be an interesting one. West Ham looked like they were kind of gaining a tiny bit of steam.
Yeah.
Then that loss to Wolves really kind of has set them back, I think. Weird season for West Ham.
Yeah.
They're not going to look back at this one fondly. I don't think there's any benefits to this year.
I'd like to see them get a solid pre-season in with
Potter.
Potter and then see how that goes next season. I think they're going to do well.
Simon's gone Villa versus Forest. He's gone Villa. I'm actually going to agree with him, which is my sin. I always say Villa will lose every game they play after a Champions League game.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're against one of the most informed teams in the league.
I'm going to try and manifest something here and go draw.
Yeah, I think I'm going more what I want to happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Villa are right behind anyway, so a draw is probably the perfect result. But I don't know, it feels weird. Simon's actually gone Spurs versus Saints.
Okay.
I think you have to. I think Saints are so poor.
Give me Saints.
No way. You're just throwing away points. We got Brentford versus Chelsea. Someone's gone Brentford.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go Chelsea.
Give me a draw.
Joe.
I go. I've go.
There's so many games, guys. We got Fulham versus Liverpool. Simon's gone Liverpool.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Fulham.
Ooh. Give me a draw.
Joe. You can agree.
No, I need to do something.
We got Leicester versus Newcastle. Simon's got Newcastle. Yeah, I'm gonna go Newcastle. Don't do it.
I'm going Newcastle.
And then the last game is Man United versus Man City. Simon's gone City.
It's Old Trafford.
I'm going to go Man United. What are you going to go?
Draw.
And that is where we're going to throw it over
Yeah.
to preview that game correctly by our Man United correspondent. He's been on the podcast multiple times. He did the intro for episode 100 today. Is the man they call B Dunzo, Bruno Hawkins. Brum if you like.
From if you're nasty.
Brum if you're nasty. Check him out now.
I'm definitely not confident. Coming off a loss to a perennial top 3 side in Forest on last night was definitely predictable. It looked like we had some good chances, but that goal to give away, there was some soft play, and it just showed where Man United have lacked and made bad decisions in the past with Elanga scoring against us, come back to haunt us. It's the age old typical thing, really. But fair play to Forest. I'm kind of glad in a way if you have to lose. I quite like to make sure like a team that had probably no chance of getting Champions League football have got now an even better chance, and maybe even to pip out City. But my thoughts for the weekend and the City game is at Old Trafford. Our form there has been atrocious. I believe there is a protest, a demonstration going to happen about the Glazers more than anything. And I think that's where my issues are with Man United right now is just with that. But going back to the game, City do have people out. However, I feel at Old Trafford, this could be an absolute thumping. We've had it before in the past where Aguero has scored like 4. I have a feeling that that City boy, bear with me because I can't remember his name, and that's bad. Marmoush. I have a feeling he's going to have a huge game this weekend. So yeah, I have a feeling that United are pretty much going to win a couple more games tops coming like towards the end of the season. We need to prioritize Europe, and I believe that's what we'd do. We can't afford to go like we're already playing our youngsters, and we're already playing like maybe lesser talent, but we're getting a lot of people back, so it's no excuse as well. I just think that some of these players cannot play that Amorim system, and against teams like City, we'll get found out. And I feel it's annoying because I don't want to give City that jump. I don't want to give them any sort of like motivation or anything, or the more importantly, the 3 points to secure sort of their future or get further into the top 4. But I can't see any way around United winning, especially at home at this season, because we do turn up for the quote unquote the big hitters. We should have turned up against Forest in a better light, seeing as they are currently in the top 4. So you just never know. You that's the one thing, you just never know what United team will turn up. It's more than often that it will be a pile of dog feces that will turn up, and yeah, it's just that's basically all you can really say. Or you'll get that 1% performance where everything maybe click and someone will have a great game, and it will obviously be led by Bruno, because anything we're doing this season is led by Bruno. So that's all I can really sort of preview for this weekend. We'll see what City do later, but I think they've got this in the bag. And yeah, I'm expecting probably a big performance by Mamouche, and probably Foden or something will probably step up. Maybe De Bruyne. I don't know, but this is an easy City win for me. Back to you guys.
And we are back.
Hello.
I'll say this: Bruno's done a good job there.
Did very well.
If he spoke, as we're recording, we don't have the file, so hopefully he spoke there. If he didn't, then I'm still leaving it all in. So
Don't want to fumble the bag on episode 100, do we?
yeah, so that was Bruno's opinion on Man City versus Man United at Old Trafford. I keep saying it the wrong way around and then saying that where it is. It's very American, that.
Yeah.
But appreciate you, Bruno. Appreciate you, Simon, for jumping on the pod for the 100th episode. The last thing we've got to do is quickly kind of, I think we'll give our prediction, I think, maybe, for the Madrid game. Because that will be next Tuesday. We'll be recording this podcast next Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's at the Emirates. Saka's available.
Fantastic.
Gabriel is not.
No.
We said earlier in the episode we don't want it to be the Partey, Kivior, a part of the centre-back. You know, Kivior, Partey, Saliba, Lewis Skelly, I think worries me massively against that attack. They're an interesting team because we play against low blocks constantly. Congested, weird low blocks. Madrid aren't going to do that, I don't think.
No.
But also they're not going to have the ball.
No.
Because they have no interest.
Yeah.
But, having watched the clips of their last couple of games, they can really be get at. If you win the ball high,
Yep.
they are wide open.
It's a punch-out.
So if Rice or someone can nick the ball high, it's get 2 touches and get a shot away.
Oh, there's going to be chances galore either end.
I think it could either be 3-0 Arsenal, 3-0 Real Madrid, or 3-3 in that first leg. I think it really is going to come down to that second
It'll be
leg.
fun no matter what, though.
Because you do hope that somehow they can give Gabriel a new hamstring and defend for his life.
I tell you what, I'm excited to see Arsenal versus Real Madrid under the lights at the Emirates.
This-
that is gorgeous.
When we started this podcast, we were excited because we were finally back in the Champions League. And we started it having just got back into Champions League.
Yeah.
And we were like, I can't. And I remember in the first episode, we literally said, I can't believe we are going to get us to watch the Emirates in the Champions League. And they're going to sing that song.
Yep.
And the champion. And we're going to watch that happen.
Yep.
And hopefully we get a big team in the Champions League. And we ended up getting to watch us against Bayern Munich
Yeah.
at the Emirates. And we absolutely steamrolled them for a little period of time. And then they got back in there, went to 2-1. I think we drew 2-2, I think it was. Saka should have won a penalty at the end.
Yeah.
And then they beat us 1-0 away from home. And it just kind of became a bit like, ugh. Bayern Munich have this ability to, they're always going to beat us.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel as Champions League as having Real Madrid at the Emirates.
Bayern Munich is that gritty.
Real Madrid's never been in a competitive game at the Emirates.
That's mad.
It feels like, it's, this is what you wait to watch.
Oh, even if we go out, we get to visually see Arsenal versus Real Madrid at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal versus Real Madrid at the
Bernabeu.
And then we get to see it with our eyes. Like, regardless of the result and the end product, like, we get to see it with our eyes and see what that looks like.
Yeah, and I remember us talking about it on that first episode and going, I can't wait to see it. And 2 years later, we are second in the league against we're only a couple points ahead of the team that we previewed us against
Yeah.
on that opening day.
Yeah. Weird.
And we're doing a quarterfinal at the Emirates against the Real Madrid.
Madness.
And that will be next week's episode. Will be kind of breaking down that, what happened with Everton, what happened in the Premier League, and getting ready for. I don't know who we have after that. I think we have a home game. Something telling me it's home against Palace.
I looked at the fixtures last night, I think it was.
Let's have a look. We've got matches.
Whoa.
We won. Everton, Real Madrid. We got Brentford at home at 5:30 on the Saturday.
Okay. We're on TV a lot.
Yeah. And then back to Real Madrid. Back to Real Madrid midweek on the Wednesday. And then, so next week we'll be talking about the Madrid game and previewing the Brentford. But then the week after we'll be actually previewing the Real Madrid game that night.
Mad.
And the Ipswich game at the weekend. And then the Palace game has been postponed. That's why it was in my head. And it's been pushed to midweek, I think. So close to the end of the season.
It is. And we've got 4 TV games on the bounce there, I think.
Yeah. So we've got a lot to look forward to. Hopefully, it'll be a very exciting week. That next week, 101, will be a mad start to the next 100 episodes, really. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for getting involved. We haven't been on TikTok Live this week.
No.
Kind of knocked it on the head a little bit at the minute just because it's hard to steer the conversation. But we're still trying to do TikTok Lives, but they're not going to be every single week, 10 a.m. GMT, which they have been since the start, pretty much. We're kind of changing out. But you can still follow us on TikTok, Gunners R Us Podcast. We do a video every single day. And obviously here, Gunners R Us Podcast, search iTunes, Spotify, give us a 5-star review, download all the episodes, and just check us out generally. And check Simon out on the overlap, check Simon out on the N5 breakdown before Arsenal games. And that's about it, really. TBA Wrestling on SeatGeek. I turned out to start, but follow Bruno. He'll probably push start on his Instagram.
He's always pushing start, that boy.
He's done a planking video recently. And also check out the Peppercorn Boys on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all those kind of things. The other podcasts that we do. And whatnot. We're doing a whatnot stream in a moment.
We are.
We're going to find this Bruno file, edit this podcast, and then we're straight into a stream. Selling mystery boxes on whatnot. So if you want that £10 free credit, go underneath this and click the link and sign up there.
And I'll tell you what. Arsenal are going to march into that sweet shop one final time. Open up that pack of toffees. And rather than spilling them all over the floor and getting our feet stuck, we're going to chew them up, spit them out, and pulverise them into a sticky toffee pudding. Come on, Arsenal!